Is it true you have to pay for ambulance services and giving birth in the U.S.? My wife had a heart attack last year and was in the cardiac ICU for 11 weeks until I had to take her off life support. The hospital doctor's bill was $2.9 million. Because I had retired from the military, she had very good insurance. Otherwise I'd have to pay the full amount. I still had to pay over $30,000.
Yes.
In America it depends on your health insurance. There is a big class divide that makes it expensive to be poor. When my daughter was born I paid $40 to use the hospital parking garage. And that was the entirety of my out-of-pocket expenses. That is because the institution I work for is wealthy and can afford to pay for an expensive insurance plan for its employees. Others who are less fortunate will pay far more both for their insurance and out-of-pocket medical expenses. My child's birth cost $12,000 after insurance paid their bit. It was $45,000 before insurance. There was an emergency C-section, though, so I can't speak for the cost of a smooth birth. Edit. I forgot to mention that we also had to have it paid off within a certain amount of time and only had a few options for monthly payments. You can choose not to pay and risk your credit score, which creates a risk for future loans. The lack of a public healthcare system in the USA is the single biggest evidence of corruption at high levels there I can think of. My credit is total trash because I have unpaid bills from ambulance rides. I have epilepsy, which means seizures, with no warning. They're scary AF to watch, but not necessarily something I need to go to the hospital for. They just happen. Short of wearing a shirt that says, "It's just a seizure," there's only the hope that someone else knows what a seizure is and doesn't call EMTs. Plus injuries from the seizures. I've got a lot of medical debt, and no way of paying any of it off anytime soon. I don't think my experience represents a high percentage of people, but it's very true that you have to pay a lot, even when you don't need it. Thumbs up, thumbs up. My husband had to be airlifted. It was a 12-minute helicopter ride. $63,000 after insurance. That's just the helicopter, not the visit at the first hospital or the heart surgery at the second hospital or the ambulance ride to the first hospital. Also, I had a C-section and it was $4,000 for my hospital visit after insurance. Health insurance and medical care is a scam in the United States. In Kentucky, people tried to start their own ambulance businesses to bring in competition and bring the cost down. The state denied licenses for any new services so they could keep charging higher costs. We are charged for skin-to-skin contact with the baby after birth. Healthcare is a nightmare here. Yup. Welcome to America. I was taken to the hospital by ambulance after a mental breakdown and was charged $4,000 for a 5-mile ride to hold me in the psych ward for 6 hours upside down face. Edit. The total bill was much more than that. That was just transportation to the hospital. Yes. Everything has a cost. I am a disabled person in America and it's a dystopian hellscape. I have had to pay over $800 on copays alone so far this year. I get weekly saline infusions that, without insurance, would cost me $500 a visit. Saline cost not even $2 to make. Yes, it's true. I personally hate it, and I suspect that the people who do prefer it are all either rich or brainwashed by propaganda. Wife had kidney infection recently. Went to hospital. Got tests. They prescribed meds. Charged insurance $13,000. I have to pay $900. Ambulance rides are the $900 one-way taxi. Yes, it's true. Most ambulance vehicles are owned by a private company that bills you separately from the hospital. I've heard of prices ranging from $1, $500, $3,000 for an ambulance ride. If I were shot in both knees, I'd still drive myself to the hospital. I don't have any children, but from what I hear, that too is stupid expensive. I've heard that could be anywhere from $20,000 and up. They even charge you for skin-on-skin contact with your baby after you give birth. Yep, healthcare is expensive in the US even if you have insurance. With my plan, I have to pay $5,000 before insurance will pick up anything. After that, insurance pays 80% of the bill. There are better plans, but the premiums are higher. Insurance coverage is normally based on what your employer provides for. I paid next to nothing for having my kids, and I know ambulance services are partially covered. We deal W at BC. Most feel there is nothing they can do about it. Problem is the hospitals bill the insurance companies with wrong codes to try to get you to pay. Trick is to stay on phone with them for hours at a time to make sure it's billed correctly. Lol.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.